Sagrada Familia is a church located in Barcelona, Spain. It has been under construction since the 1800s, when Antoni Gaudi, the architect, first dreamed of perfection. He created looming towers spotted with stained glass that spill pools of light in emerald greens and deep blues. He created a structure that looks like a castle from the outside, but a forest from the inside, and people come from all over the world to see his work. I'd like to invite you to consider Gaudi and his church, a project he began close to 200 years ago and still isn't complete. Because if we were honest, there is no such thing as perfection. No one is perfect, nothing is perfect. There are always flaws, and Gaudi must have known this when he began a project he knew would have been finished in his lifetime, if ever. I'd like us to think of Gaudi as a metaphor. Just as perfection is unachievable, so too is confidence. It's a process we're always building towards, but unlimitedly, it's unachievable. It's an ongoing process, just like Gaudi's church. With this caveat that confidence is unachievable, I'd like to show you 5 steps that help on the recursive, the never-ending cycle of gaining confidence. Before we go into how to build confidence, it's important to define what it is and what it's not. First of all, confidence is not self-esteem. According to Dr. Bannister, a psychologist in Case Western University, he says that self-esteem is how a person favorably regards him or herself. Confidence, on the other hand, is how Kansas State University Dr. Candace Shoemaker says self-efficacy, which is how a person is able to produce a desired or intended result. In short, she says, confidence is a measure of one's own belief in one's own ability, and is considered a psychological trait that is related to but distinct from both ability and personality trait, she says. With this distinction in mind, let's begin to look at how to build confidence, at building our own belief in our own ability to get the results we want to get. Step 1, building confidence. Fail. Don't fail a little, fail a lot. Fail like Steve Jobs, J.K. Rowling, Michael Jordan, Abraham Lincoln, Alexander Hamilton, all mushed together like a failure sausage. One giant sujuk. I want you to fail like a bridge made out of jello. This means studying for 2 days for that pre-algebra test and bringing home a big fat F. This means applying for your dream college only to get rejected. Because here's the thing. If you're doing something important that goes beyond day-to-day responsibilities of brushing your teeth or eating dinner with your family, something that matters, if there isn't a risk of failure, then it's not worth doing. Because here's the truth. Failure can be powerfully motivating. So my advice to you in step 1 is to put yourself in a situation where you might just fail, because you're also putting yourself in a situation where you might just succeed. And succeed at something that is important to you. This leads us to step 2 of building confidence. After you've failed, been rejected by that college, that scholarship, give yourself permission and space to lick your wounds. Go give yourself a pep talk in the mirror. Go eat a bunch of hot Cheetos. Go sit on the beach. Take a bubble bath. Let yourself grieve. Give yourself permission and space to lick your wounds, and then start reflecting. Where did you go wrong? Where did the world around you go wrong? What is in your power to control and what is not? What are you going to do and what are you going to change? Step 3 of building confidence. Decide who you are and filter out the noise. Life is a long series of choices. I don't really have to do much of anything. I could not do my math homework. I could not get up for school in the morning if I wanted to. I could not drink water. But here's the thing. My choices create consequences, both good and bad ones. If I do my math homework, as a consequence, I'll do better on my math test. If I don't drink water, I'll die as a consequence. It's as simple as that. We make hundreds of decisions every day, but we don't always think about the consequences. But when we do, we recognize the power we have in our own lives. So here's my suggestion to you. Decide who you are. Decide that you're a good math student. Decide that you're a non-smoker. Decide these things even if you're not. You're not someone who does math, you're a math person. You're not someone who doesn't smoke, you're a non-smoker. Decide these things and then mimic the actions of the people who already are what you want to be. How did they study for that math test? What works for them? What works for you? What methods can you steal and what can you change? This leads us to step 4 of building confidence. Like we just saw, change is teamwork. You can't cook a brownie, at least a rich one, without flour, eggs, baking soda, and chocolate. These ingredients work together and play off each other. Identity follows the same rule. You have to find a network of support. This sounds obvious, but in schools it's sometimes overlooked, and this is a problem. The National Institute of Education in Singapore conducted a study that found that confidence is a much better predictor of students' achievements than any other non-co-negative measurement. This means that this is a duty of the teachers and peers to help build confidence, to help individuals see their own ability to create the desired or intended results they want to get. As we considered our roles within our schools, with this specific school, we need to think about confidence because it's a direct reflection of our community and what will sustain us as we try to learn for life, as we try to practice compassion, as we try to make a difference. So imagine what a day would look like if we began to recognize each other's expertise. It means sitting by that math student and telling her that you're a good math student. It means telling her that she has the capacity to help you. While this doesn't directly impact your self-efficacy, it does build hers, which is incredibly important. But remember, in this daydream, it's the entire community that is engaging in feedback, that revolves around what we do and what we can do for others. This means that it becomes a chain. I celebrate her ability in math. She celebrates his in history. He celebrates my ability in English to ask poignant questions. Stage 5 of building confidence is to simply fail again. It might be that our ability to create the change we want is limited, and that's okay. But that's what's important, that we give ourselves permission to fail, that we own our own thinking, strategies, and find a community that will support us to be the best versions of ourselves. Because we can't forget in the never-ending quest that Sagrada Familia was not built in a day. Thank you.